In response to Hurricane Florence in the Carolinas, a group of Wareham residents came together to spearhead a relief campaign on behalf of the hurricane survivors, targeting a special group. Hi. Hey, buddy. Hi.
Can you tell someone's very excited?
In September this year, the Carolinas were hit with what the weather channels refer to as the storm of the lifetime. More than 1 million residents under mandatory evacuation and at least 52 reported deaths.
We saw the stuff coming out of the news and it was just terrible. So we said, oh, we have to do something. So we did. We got everybody together. We did this giant thing and it ballooned and it went crazy and we ended up with about $10,000 to $12,000 worth of merchandise we brought down. We raised it in a week and then just drove it all down to where they needed it most.
Hurricane Florence, that peaked to a Category 4 storm with powerful winds as high as 140 miles per hour, brought relentless rain and life-threatening storm surges that left a path of destruction, destroying property and lives. As the world witnessed the devastation of Hurricane Florence, a group of Wareham residents resonated with a special group of survivors, those whose voices do not ring the loudest. Now, when hurricane starts, we normally think about the people because they're the ones can go on TV and articulate what they're going through. Pets cannot articulate in our language anyways.
No.
So we tend to sometimes forget that there are pets, who cannot rescue themselves. So with that, how did the Wareham community at first responded to this?
Nothing but positive. Everything was positive. We had so many people. We had locations to drop donations off. We had companies organizing things for us. It was just amazing. We gave them a list. They came together. We did drop-offs, running around, picking everything up, and it just happened. It just ballooned into this giant thing that was just awesome.
Wareham Pack Walkers, a casual group of dog-friendly people working to socialize their dogs, wanted to extend aid to dogs impacted by Hurricane Florence.
One of the shelters that we dropped product off at was a human shelter with the dog shelter on the side. And a lot of those people had lost everything. So it was a matter of them picking up food that we had brought versus giving up their dogs. So that was really big.
Now, how did you determine what you needed or what they needed? Were you in touch with somebody there?
We talked to Brother Wolf Sanctuary down in North Carolina, who helped evacuate the dogs from the shelters that were going to get hit really close. So they helped evacuate them out, move them into different shelters so that they could make space for all the rescues. So when we decided what shelters we were going to go to, they were very helpful, saying, these guys never get help. They're right on the front lines. They need help. So that's where we went. We went straight to landfall and dropped things off.
Was it food that they needed? What were you able to discover?
We got food, bedding, shelter supplies like rubber gloves, Kleenex, tissues, Kleenex, and paper towels. Cleaning products were big because everything was going to be covered in mold. So we got all that stuff together. We had Old Derby, Hingham Animal Hospital donate a bunch of flea and tick medications and stuff. So that was so helpful.
Now, you yourself got to go to deliver. Tell me what you saw, what you found when you got there.
When we got there, we went in late in the morning, so we didn't see a lot going on. It was regular because we went around the landfall area. So we saw a lot of shelter setups, like human shelter setups. So we saw a lot of roads closed, some flooding, but we didn't see the majority of it because we couldn't get to a lot of those locations. So the locations that we could see were, after our storms. There was a lot of trees down. There's a lot of swampy areas and things like that. But initially we just drove down. Everything looked pretty normal. The places we went to be safe were still, they had electricity and things were running normally.
I can feel like there's some emotion to this.
Yes,
You connected somewhere deep. Do you mind to share where your passion and your love for the animals is coming from?
Well, we've been in this situation. We have hurricanes. We have storms up here. So it could very easily happen to us. And I would hope that somebody would step in and help us if we ever needed it. But it is, dog owners are a community. It's not just people community. It's all about dogs too. I'm gonna cry. Sorry.
It's okay. A beautiful thing coming out from such tragic. I did ask Jenny, the founder of Wareham Pack Walkers, whether they are going to host another fundraiser in response of the recent hurricane in Florida, in which she said, no, this time the distance is a bit too far, and so they're going to let another group take on the initiative. However, Wareham Pack Walkers will continue to support their local dog shelters.
Good girl. You're not putting it on TV.
No.
Good girl.